Hi guys, I'm Woodcraft Hamster, and it's been a week since I've done any work on our eucalyptus bowl, and that was very deliberate on my part because, as you would have seen on the last episode, it wasn't really working out the way I wanted. I was getting annoyed with it, and I thought, you know what, deep breath, walk away, had a bit of a rethink, and what I'm going to do today is try and do a bit of axe work on it. Now, I deliberately didn't use my axe the last time round because I was a bit concerned about it splitting. That eucalyptus has a tendency to sort of break off in chunks and follow along with the grain, which is quite twisty on this wood. But I'm going to give it a try. You know, it seems like a feasible way of doing it, provided it doesn't do too much damage. And obviously, if it starts splitting off in big chunks, hopefully it won't ruin the piece of work, and then I can do another rethink. So the intention is today is to try and smooth down the sides, and what I want to do is get more of a kind of a V shape. So sort of bring this down, reduce some of that waste wood, and then what I think I'll do either today or maybe the next episode is, once I've got it down roughly where I want it, I'll then bring my gouge back into play and then start sort of, you know, almost sort of hollowing out that V shape, which is kind of the look I want to go for. So what I'll do, let me just move the camera a little bit closer in and I'll show you what it is I'm going to do. Right then guys, well hopefully you can see from the cross section here it's still quite rounded on both the sides, and what I want to do is sort of bring this down both sides so that I can kind of reduce this down. I mean, this is still a really hefty lump of wood at the moment. Obviously I've used a whole log, and you do have the central pith in here, which is not something I'd usually do, but because I didn't want to try and split this, I've used the whole log, and it's given me a bit more depth and things to work with as well. And what I want to do is try and reduce this side down. Now obviously, because I've got a bit of a sharp corner here, I'm actually going to have it rested up like this, and I'm just going to start off with the axe and just see how it goes. And actually it's not cutting too badly. I mean, on the other side round here I have got a very large knot which I know is going to cause me some problems, and I may need to figure out a different way of doing that particular piece. But what I'll do, I'm just going to carry on. I'll do my usual, I'll kind of chop and change the camera around a bit while I'm doing this, and I'll see how far we can get. What I have found, guys, is coming in from this kind of an angle, especially with an axe like this that's got a flat edge on this side, this is almost like trying to hew a beam out of a log. So if I was to take do it really sort of slowly and gently, you can kind of see what we're doing is just taking off fairly small shavings, so I'm doing it quite lightly, but this is kind of almost the same procedure you would do as if you were hewing. So I'm just going to carry on for a little while, and I'll come back when we've made a little bit more progress. I've just realised there's a really useful little workaround here as well, guys. What I've done is I've taken the little offcut that I took off of the bottom here to make it sort of horizontal. So what I've just balanced it on there, and although it's not the most sort of stable, it is giving me a much better access to this piece of the log. Just need to make sure it slightly comes off the side there, just so your axe has got enough space to follow through. Right then guys, so that's where I'm going to leave it for this episode. I've smoothed down both these sides with the axe, and it's looking certainly a lot nicer. Having had a think about it, I think what I'll do next episode is I might bring my draw knife and or my push knife into play, and what I'd like to do is sort of smooth these down a bit further, and just get them ready for me to bring in the gouge. I have stopped here deliberately because the axe was starting to split off some chunks bigger than I was willing to do. So that's why I've decided to move over to a slightly finer, more controlled tool for the next episode. I'll give you a bit of a close-up. So there you go, you can see this side, and certainly in cross section, you know, it's much, sorry, it's quite heavy this, it's much flatter down this side, and what the gouge will do is it will start to sort of bring that in even further. If I flip it round to the other side, you can see there's quite a big knot there. Cross section is not quite so flat, it's still a little bit rounded, and I think I'll do some more work on that the next episode. But if I bring this a bit closer, you can see the hack marks in this knot. And whenever you get a large knot like this in a piece of wood, it will cause you problems. There's no two ways about it. And you have two choices. You can either try and work round it and leave it sticking out. I'm not a big fan of that look, but you know, if you're into your sort of rustic looking things, that can come out really nicely. Or you can do what I'm doing and you just kind of gradually wear it down bit by bit, and sort of just take it down very, very slowly. So as I say, that's it for this episode. Next time round I'll bring my draw knife and my push knife out, and that will hopefully leave us in a situation where we're ready to start using the gouge. So as always guys, hope it was useful. Comments and questions in the box below. Hit like and subscribe if you'd like to see more. I hope you'll all join me next time. Thanks guys.